Hi Aquarius, welcome to your mid-May 2020 general tarot reading. It's Raina here. I'm getting these queens. I'll pick an additional card. Okay. It's funny, earth and fire energy. So, your ear, you've got these fire and earth situations going on. Passion and practicality. Just collecting the rest of these cards. Okay. I was thinking of a Leo. Leo is your opposite sign. Who knows? Heart of the matter. Four of Wands. The domestic bliss. Maybe a new home. Let me see your fourth house. So that is Taurus energy. Although, you know, now that Uranus, your ruler, is in Taurus, you can expect for the next several years, or 7 years, I don't know if that's several, that you're going to have like some curveballs domestically. So even if you move, you may move several times in the next, you know, I don't know what the end date is of this transit with Taurus, but probably around 2027 or something around that, 2026. So this can be, you know, a marriage, a recent marriage, something to do with a home, but there's a element or a fire sign person that exemplifies this for you. The past position, we have the Queen of Wands. I always talk about this. I always think this should be Leo because of the sunflower. This is also in the Rider-Waite deck. They show the Queen with the sunflower. The sun is the ruler of Leo, and this is fire energy, but it's supposed to be Sagittarius, believe it or not. So either one of those signs, Aries is the other fire sign. Now, there's of course different interpretations for this. This can be someone who is happy being a career, I'll say woman, you know, to be more specific, and is happy being at home. Now, of course, given the current circumstances, some people have been at home, and this is something that has been a change from the past, and maybe you have been pleasantly surprised how much you've been enjoying being at home. Perhaps you thought that you were that kind of like a working mother, that you needed that ability to, I was going to say escape, actually, to be able to have that balance in life, because Aquarius is a masculine sign. So the feminine signs, the earth and water signs, tend to be more of the domestic types of people, the homebody type of people. The fire and air signs tend not to be. That doesn't mean that they don't enjoy being at home at all, ever, but they just have that, you know, I guess for all practical purposes, I'm kind of a homebody myself, but not, you know, I don't see myself that way. But you may have been taking a lot of joy with your domestic situation at the moment. And so we do have two queens here. I think that if some of you have worked outside the home, you may kind of transition to something that is more domestic based. Now, if you have children, and queen can indicate the mother, or if a male Aquarius is watching this, this could even be your, I was going to say your maternal instincts, your nurturing instincts. Men can be great nurturers, you know. So you may have, like, it might be a pleasant discovery that you actually have been enjoying it. And I've been saying this in several videos in this series because this is something that I've been noticing that I've been kind of observing families when I've gone out, and it seems like there's a lot more family togetherness because of the circumstances. So the universe is, creating this, because it's time, it's time to maybe get back to our roots. And the children seem to be very happy, and that's what really matters. But I think I think the adults are happy too. They just didn't realize that it was that important. That material side of life can be so overwhelming and so alluring that people just kind of forget that they are spiritual beings having a human experience, and that can never be fully satisfactory. Even career, the wands actually is more than just the material. It's more of the career or the ambition. And even fulfilling your ambition, it has limitations attached to it. So if you want to call it ambition, or the joy, because the wands can be enthusiasm, is centered in the domestic sphere. I can never say the word sphere. So, that's kind of where what I'm getting from these cards. The higher message, so this is like the bigger picture, is the Page of Pentacles. So it could be saying, you've always wanted to start a business, here's your opportunity. And it's like, even if you are currently employed and you already have certain things that you have to, certain obligations, it still may be this chance for you to start something. Usually I don't read this in a predictive sense, but as a spiritual message, watch for any messages that you receive of a material nature. Even in your mind, that's a form of communication, that you get these ideas and then you kind of like laugh them off or whatever. Actually, Aquarius is a very intuitive sign. But because you are also very scientific and, highly intelligent, that can get obscured. And even some Aquarians may kind of like dismiss the woo things in life and be more about the, is this provable, kind of so-called scientific. They call astrology is a pseudoscience. Well, I'll call science pseudoscience. I can play that game, all right? So things like that, and you are very intuitive. I think Charles Darwin was an Aquarius, and Charles Dickens was one. And it's interesting because Charles Dickens was very into the humanitarian aspect, and if Darwin was an Aquarius, that sense of the typical, the scientific poster child, right? But you are very intuitive and you're the inventor, so you may come up with these ideas, and this can be a money maker, because we're talking about Pentacles, so watch for that. But also things that you're discussing with others, or starting your own business. There are several cards, especially like a home-based business, may be, perfect for what you're dealing with. What crosses you, or the obstacle for all of this, is the Two of Pentacles. You may already feel like your life is a balancing act, that you're doing different things at once. Maybe you're going to school and you're working, and even if you're not going out to work, you might be doing, what do they call that? Telecommuting. I don't know. That sounds like an old-fashioned word. When I think of telecommuting, I think of those big old clunky monitors. And it's funny because I remember even when they had big clunky monitors, and they didn't have flat panels yet. I thought they gotta come up with. I just thought that it was like. That it was like kind of behind the times, even before it existed. I know that's random. So anyway, anything that is going on in your life that makes you feel like you can't focus on something that you may want to launch. That's why when I say the Page of Pentacles, that can be kind of like that initiation of something. But that was a spiritual message, so it might be something that you have to be convinced to do, because you might feel like, I've already got enough on my plate, I can't do that. And yeah, you can. If you don't have to go all in, you can just start the process, or at least investigate if you haven't really done your homework. I would say that as well. What's coming in is the Queen of Pentacles, so this is that domestic goddess energy of really getting situated in that. And you could have inner planets, and even the moon. You could have the moon in Earth, and you could have inner planets in Capricorn, that is Earth, and already have that tendency within yourself. But this is maybe getting, when I see the Queen of Wands, there's that, hey, I kind of, I'm talking about coupled with the Four of Wands. Hey, who knew that this could be so enjoyable? And then, kind of being more on the practical side and looking at it from that perspective. I do have as the outcome the Three of Swords, so let me see what that could possibly be. Because the Three of Swords can be like some sort of emotional disappointment. I mean, a rejection, like with a relationship especially. So, I mean, this card kind of seems like a outlier in a sense. But if the Queen of, if the Four of Wands is a card about your marriage in general, then there might be this situation, this extraneous situation going on that involves an earth sign, because it's showing up as the Page of Pentacles as a new relationship. We have it as a challenge card. And, the Queen of Wands for some of you can be a feeling of being, having higher self-esteem than maybe you did in the past, and that attracting somebody who matches that. Perhaps there is a relationship. I was talking about this with my partner today, and he was talking about the strain of the current situation on some marriages. And I said, well, that doesn't bother me, because maybe those relationships they were meant to disintegrate, because now that there's not the distraction from being outside of the home, it brings up all of the problems. And he was like, no, that, he was like, that's sad, blah, blah, blah. And I was being the one who was being more detached about it. And so if there's a situation kind of similar to that, and you're realizing there might be some earth sign around you, but I don't know, it's hard to say who is the, I don't want to say bad guy, but who is the right person for you or not. Four of Wands can be a happy situation. So it's not that, unless it's something that you're seeking that you don't currently have. The Queen of Pentacles to me is somebody that is going to protect the home, and whatever that means, whether it's the literal residence itself. If you feel like, oh my gosh, if I get divorced, then I'm going to, be in a studio apartment, and I don't want that, because I really love where I am. I'm going to try to make this work. Or if it's just in terms of your being a parent and wanting that kind of continuity for your child. The Pentacles is grounded, so it kind of wants that, that reliability, and doesn't want anything that is, threatening the consistency of something. So with the Three of Swords, and even having that 2 in the challenge position can indicate like a third party. Isn't that funny how I turned on this reading? Obviously, this is a general reading, and I tend to, when I'm telling the story, it tends to be consistent. But in this particular case, it looks like for some people this could be that. Now, if you have kind of had a change of heart, and maybe you were very gung-ho about a career, and you realize that you would rather be at home with your children, that you don't want to be separated from them. Maybe you'll do homeschooling. Maybe you'll do something where I could see the Queen of Pentacles being a homeschooler, and growing vegetables. Queen of Pentacles can be a gardener, somebody who is like really connecting with the earth and connecting with the home. And in doing so, with that Two of Pentacles, if you're still maintaining a day job, and you feel like that's creating this sense of like chaos, or just like you feel like everything is too unpredictable, or well, now unpredictable isn't the word, but you know what I mean, just like harried, then the Three of Swords is about cutting something off very decisively. Aquarius can do that. Don't get it twisted. You're very good at like abruptly cutting something off because you're detached from it all of a sudden. And it could be all of a sudden that you just say, okay, I'm done. But in this particular case, you may be nervous to do that because you may feel like if you do it, then, what if it doesn't work out? You are a fixed sign at the end of the day. And you may kind of like enjoy having consistency. And when something is about change, that may make you a little bit stubborn all of a sudden. So it might be something along those lines. I did pick an additional card just because the Three of Swords isn't a card that just I like to end the reading with. So I got the Nine of Pentacles, another like affirmation about independent monetary situation. So somebody who isn't reliant on another, whether it's a partner or a company, an employer. So yeah, it does seem like it favors home business and any kind of an earth sign individual that you may be interested in. Perhaps the Wands individual is in the past, and with the Queen of Wands, this could be even a water sign that has fire, water and fire. So who knows? I mean, I know I'm saying could. Yeah, it is very, it is one of those things. That's what I like about the tarot, is that it's very open-ended so that it can reach as many people as possible. I'm primarily an astrologer, so if you're interested in a reading, most of my readings are astrology based, and I would love to read for you. You can check me out at rainamoonastrology.com. The link is below. Thank you for watching. Take care.